This new story here, I believe that someone in the comments will end up revealing that they have already witnessed something similar up close. Listen carefully, and then tell me if you have ever seen something like it. I always knew that Springfield summers were different. At 22, with tan skin and curly hair tied in a scarlet scarf, I was the only one still climbing the peach trees while my cousin's busy fixing the fences on the farm. Uncle Joe used to say that I had an indomitable spirit, and maybe he was right. One afternoon in February, when the sun was so intense that even the shadows seemed to melt, they decided it was time to harvest what I had grown. I called them to the porch of the adobe house, where the warm wind carried the scent of the barn. John, the oldest, 25 years old, with strong arms from handling sacks of corn. Peter, silent as the night, but with eyes that followed my every move. And Luke, the youngest, 19 years old, who would blush if I wore a dress that was a little above the knee. "I need help with an unusual harvest," he said, licking his lips as he peeled an orange. The juice ran down my wrist, and Luke swallowed. Hard. John leaned the hoe against the wall, his open shirt showing the sweat that glistened on his chest. "Harvest of what, Murray?" he asked, since it wasn't corn season. I swung my bare feet on the wooden swing, allowing my skirt to rise a little higher. "Something has grown too much here on the farm and is blocking the path," I explained. Peter, who rarely spoke more than 3 words, was the first to understand. His dark eyes widened and the water bottle almost slipped from his hand. "Are you going to tell me you've never considered that?" I challenged, biting into an orange segment. The sour sweetness made my lips tingle. "Everyone here knows it's not water." Luke cleared his throat, blushing to the roots of his short hair. "Mari, that's not appropriate," he muttered. I struck a match on the sole of my flip-flop and lit the lamp, even though the sun was overhead. "The appropriate thing is for the corn to grow upright," I said, blowing the smoke in their direction. "It's weeds that we pull out with our hands." John was the first to agree when I mentioned that I would help organize the tools in the dimly lit barn, where the smell of hay mixed with the burning oil from the machines. Leaning against the wooden wall, "Do you know how to fix a fence firmly?" I whispered, untying the laces of his sneakers with my teeth. He swallowed hard, his eyes fixed, winding the wire until it was snug. "Exactly." I let the fabric slide down his shoulders, revealing what only the sun had seen until then. "Show me how to do it," I urged. When his calloused fingers touched my skin, it was like feeling the first lightning of the storm. John, always so attentive to the animals, revealed a strength that he did not even use with an axe. The hay scratched my back, but I only let out a low laugh when he whispered my name, smiling and thanking him. "Is the fence safe now?" I asked. Later, fixing my hair as he composed himself. He only nodded, his hands still shaking as he closed his shirt. Peter's silence met his own at the edge of the stream where he used to fish for trout. Sitting on a smooth rock, he didn't move when he saw me, but he didn't move away. "I brought a different bait," he said, showing the basket with artisanal breads. "I don't feel like it," I replied, kneeling down and wetting the hem of my dress in the cool water. "Nor me." I brought my lips closer to that light breeze that had almost ceased, characteristic of an arid climate. But Peter didn't back down. His calm, calf-like manner, his hands as light as a hummingbird's wings, made me laugh. "You need to learn to hold on tighter, Pedro," I instructed, guiding his fingers to my hip. "Big fish don't like delicacy." In the middle of the lesson, a Lambari bit the forgotten line. Peter swore that it was the fright that made us fall into the water, but we both knew the truth. I found the youngest, Luke, in the chicken coop collecting eggs at sunset. "I came to help, right?" I asked. His eyes were fixed on my cleavage as I bent over. With my hand on the egg, I placed a still warm one in his. "Be careful not to break it. They're delicate." When he came closer, I pretended to trip. Luke supported me, showing deference and tenderness in helping me. "Mari, you need someone to teach these chickens how to lay eggs properly," I interrupted, unbuttoning my shirt calmly. "Will you show me your technique?" Luke's skin blushed as far as the sun could not reach. But when the first rooster crowed loudly, I understood that even the most reserved have a voice. On the porch at dusk, I served freshly brewed coffee. The three of them sat in silence, avoiding each other's eyes, while the aroma of cinnamon and mystery permeated the air. "Today's harvest," I began, running my finger along the rim of John's cup. "It produces well in the winter. Plant well. Harvest. Well." Peter almost dropped the sugar bowl, and Luke laughed nervously until John gave him a light kick in the shin. As the sun sank behind the hills, painting the sky a deep purple, I knew the farm would never be the same. And in my heart, as I helped Aunt Zelda wash the dishes, I smiled as I listened to them argue over who would get to claim the new fence the next day. The work on the farm was just beginning. I was eager to prepare a rustic breakfast, around 6:30 in the morning. I grabbed the coffee filter and a spotlessly clean carafe that Aunt Zelda had prepared. I had forgotten to put a cloth underneath, but the joke was on. As I made the coffee, the back curve was slightly exposed, only they had an early riser. Aunt Zelda always got up much later. Luke got there first, tripped over the leg of the chair, and I laughed heartily. "Good morning, Mari. You're early today. I imagine the coffee is divine," he commented. "Of course, Luke. Today there's bread, butter, mozzarella, and that cornbread. And the coffee? Well, I made it less sweet. 3 spoons of coffee, only 4 of sugar. Try it." He tasted it, a tasting that seemed endless. I sat at the table, the melons on top. He inhaled and asked if he could taste them. I moved what was stopping him to the side. The enthusiastic one who was sleeping woke up. "Come closer. This can be solved so easily," he said, forgetting about the fence for almost an hour. We took turns so that no one would get tired. I didn't get tired. I just coordinated the actions, each one with his own tool, sealing the holes. Peter, the most experienced, sweated little because, as I said at the beginning, I have a lot of skill. After finishing the task, we started repairing the fence. The sweat ran down like rain on the hood of a beetle. They helped me clean it up, always helpful. Luke smiled and asked, "Would you like some water, Mari?" "No, next time I will," I replied. That's how we tried to repair the fence in Springfield. Did you like the story? Thank you for subscribing to the channel and activating the notification bell.